You ever see something so old, so mysterious that your brain just says, nah, that can't be real? Well, that's what happened when people stumbled across this weird little manuscript from the 1700s. At first glance, it looks like any old piece of history, yellowed pages, scribbled ink, the kind of thing you'd imagine sitting in some dusty library. But here's the thing, nobody can read it. Not because it's in another language, not because it's faded with time, but because it wasn't written by humans. Yeah, you heard that right. A book from the 1700s, supposedly written centuries ago, filled with symbols and markings no human alive, or dead, can claim to understand. And it gets even creepier. The more you look at it, the more it feels like it's looking back at you. Now I know what you're thinking. Okay, maybe it's just some crazy code, right? Some cryptic language scholars just haven't cracked yet. That's what everybody thought at first. For decades, researchers, historians, even codebreakers from the CIA have tried to decode this thing. And every single one of them has walked away frustrated. Imagine spending your whole career trying to untangle letters and patterns that don't even match anything on Earth. That's the rabbit hole this manuscript drags you into. But here's the wild part. Some experts say the patterns don't even behave like normal writing. Human languages have structure, grammar, repetition, rhythm. This thing? It dances to its own beat. The letters are there, but they don't act like words. They look like they were generated. Like some machine, centuries before we had typewriters, decided to spit out page after page of fake words. Think about that for a second. How in the world does a manuscript from the 1700s exist, if it wasn't written by human hands? And that's when the theories start spinning out of control. Some say it's an elaborate hoax, but the sheer size and consistency of the book makes that hard to believe. Others whisper about aliens, about communication with beings not from this world, who gifted humans a script we were never meant to read. And then there's the creepiest theory of them all. What if this manuscript is proof that artificial intelligence didn't start in the 2000s or even the 1900s, but centuries earlier? What if someone, somehow, stumbled upon a way to create a machine that could think, or at least imitate thought, long before electricity was even mainstream? Picture this. Europe in the 1700s, candlelight flickering in cold stone halls, scientists and philosophers chasing impossible ideas. What if one of them found a way to build a mechanism that could write? Not in any real language, but in endless streams of symbols that mimic the shape of meaning. You'd end up with a book exactly like this one. A book that feels human but isn't. And that's where the hairs on the back of your neck start standing up, because if someone actually pulled that off back then, what else did they create? What else has been lost to time, hiding in plain sight? The story of this manuscript isn't just about old paper. It's about obsession. People have gone insane trying to make sense of it. Scholars in the 1800s devoted years of their lives, only to admit defeat. In the 1900s, entire academic careers were wrecked because of this book. And in the modern day, computers have been fed the text, algorithms have analyzed every letter, and guess what? They're just as baffled. It's like the book laughs at anyone who dares to try. And here's where it gets personal. Imagine holding this thing in your hands, feeling the weight of it. Centuries of dust, the smell of aged leather, the ink still sharp like it was written yesterday. You flip through and your stomach drops. On one page, a cluster of symbols that look like they should mean something but don't. On another, illustrations of plants that don't exist anywhere in the world, leaves curling in shapes that defy biology. And then, this is the part that gets under your skin, you see figures. Drawings of people, or at least, things that look like people. Their faces twisted, their bodies floating in shapes that make no sense, like they're caught between two realities. You close the book, and suddenly the silence in the room feels heavier. Why would someone make this? Why would they spend years creating something no one could read? Unless, the point wasn't for us to read it. Maybe it was meant for someone else. Another intelligence. A future machine. Or maybe something not of this world at all. And if that's the case, then this book isn't just a mystery, it's a message. A message we weren't supposed to receive, at least not yet. Here's the kicker. Every time people think they've cracked it, the book fights back. A linguist once claimed he found patterns linking it to an ancient language. Within weeks, his theory collapsed. It didn't hold up. A mathematician said it was just random nonsense. But then, when computers ran probability checks, the symbols showed just enough structure to make nonsense impossible. It's like the book walks a perfect tightrope between order and chaos, never letting us pin it down. That's not just weird. That's intentional. So let me ask you this. If you came across something in your life that felt like it wasn't made for you, like it was planted in your reality by mistake, what would you do? Would you chase it, risk your sanity trying to understand? Or would you walk away, leaving the mystery to haunt someone else? Because that's the crossroads this manuscript leaves us at. It's not just a story about history. It's a mirror, daring us to admit how little we know about where knowledge really comes from. And maybe that's why this thing refuses to give up its secrets. Maybe it's a reminder that not everything is meant to be solved. Some puzzles exist just to remind us how small we are in the universe. Or maybe, just maybe, it's waiting. Waiting for the right person or the right machine to finally unlock it. And when that day comes, who knows what we'll find. So here's the deal. If this story gave you chills, if you're now side-eyeing your bookshelf wondering what secrets could be hiding in plain sight, don't just click away. Stick around, because this channel is where we dive into the stories you can't stop thinking about at 2 a.m. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like if you're as obsessed with unraveling mysteries as I am, and drop a comment telling me what you think this manuscript really is. Alien artifact? Early AI? Or something darker, something we can't even imagine yet? I'll be reading every single theory you share because, let's be honest, this is one mystery none of us should be solving alone. And who knows, maybe the answer's been hiding with us this whole time.